Hi everyone, I hope that you are ready for a very exciting lesson. So let's go ahead and take a look at our focus. Our focus for today is to describe data using mean, median, mode, and range. And by the end of the lesson, you should be able to answer these questions. In a set of data, what is the mean, median, mode, and range? Along with answering the question, how do you identify an outlier? But before we get started, I want to go over some vocabulary review. Let's start by talking about what a sum is. The sum is an answer to an addition problem. So here in pink is our answer to the addition problem. In blue, we have our add-ins. Those are the numbers that are added together to get our sum. We need to know this information and use this sort of vocabulary when we're talking about this lesson. And first, we're going to talk about what the mean is. Mean means average. So if you've ever heard about a batting average or something along those lines, they're really talking about the mean. And the mean is the average of a group of numbers. So in this example, we have a set of numbers. This is our data set. And the mean, the average of those numbers is 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example. The mean is found by evening out all of the numbers. So here we have a 2, a 5, a 2, a 1, and a 5. So we're evenly distributing these numbers into each data set. And we're going to move those 2. So in each group there is 3. So the average is 3. But how do you do that mathematically? First, we add up all of the numbers. So here we have a different set of data. We're going to add up all the numbers. These are the add-ins. So we're going to add 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus 18 plus 22 plus 26 to equal 96. That is the sum of all of our add-ins. Then what we do is figure out how many add-ins there are. So ask yourself, how many numbers did we add together to equal 96? Well, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then divide the sum by the number of add-ins. So we are dividing 96 by 6, the sum divided by the add-ins, to equal 16. So the mean, or the average, of that data set is 16. Let's take a look at an example together. Here we're asked to solve for the mean of these numbers. We have 2, 9, 14, and 27. The first thing that we're going to have to do is add up all of our add-ins. So 2 plus 9 plus 14 plus 27 is equal to 52. Our second step is to divide our sum by the total number of add-ins. And we have 4 add-ins. 4 divided by 52. 4 goes into 5 once. 1 times 4 is 4. Find the difference. And then 4 goes into 12 3 times with no remainder. So the average, or the mean, of these numbers is 13. Next, we're going to talk about median. And median is in the middle. It's the middle number. It's a number that is in the set of an ordered number. So the numbers have to be in order from least to greatest. And it's the number that's in the middle. So how do you find the median in a set of numbers? So first, if they're not already in order from least to greatest, the first step would be to arrange the numbers from least to greatest. So here we reorganize these values so that they're from the smallest value to the largest value. The second step is to identify which number is in the middle. In this case, it is 21. But sometimes you're going to have a group of numbers that isn't an odd number. Here we have 6 values. If there are 2 middle numbers, then we have to find the mean, or the average, of these 2 numbers. In order to do that, we need to add them together and find their sum of 46 and divide it by the total number of add-ins. So in this case, we're finding the average of these 2 numbers. 46 divided by 2 is equal to 23. So in this data set, the median value would be 23. Next, we're going to talk about mode. And mode is the most popular. And here I have an example and a way to help us remember what mode is. And I have a la mode, the most popular or that which is in fashion. So baseball caps are a la mode today. They're the most popular of all the hats. But obviously, since we're working with math, we're going to be working with numbers. So let's take a look. Like we said, mode is a number that appears the most frequently in a set of numbers. So in this example, we have them ordered from least to greatest, and we are able to identify that the value of 1 is the mode. It's the value that is most frequent. So the first step that needs to be taken in order to find the mode of a group of numbers is to arrange them from least to greatest. So these values are rearranged so that they are from least to greatest. And the second step is to find the number that is repeated the most. In this case, it is 18. Now in this one, we reorganize these numbers from least to greatest, and we're able to identify that the value of 8 is the most frequently shown in this data set. So 8 would be the mode. Next, we're going to talk about range. And range is the distance between the values given. It's the distance between the greatest and the least value in the set of numbers. So you're going to order them again from least to greatest and find the difference. Let's take a look. So arranging them from least to greatest, here's our data set. And this is our smallest number, and this is our largest number. Here we have them circled. Now what we need to do is find the difference between those two numbers. We're going to take our smaller number away from our larger number to equal our range of 9. Let's take a look at an example together. We're asked to find the range of this data set. And the first thing that we need to do is to order them from least to greatest. So here we have 4 to 29. And now we need to find the range. So we need to take our smaller number away from our largest number and find the difference. When we do that, we solve and find that the range between these numbers is 25. Last but not least, we're going to talk about outliers. An outlier is an item that is much higher or much lower than the other items in a set of data. So they just don't seem to fit. So in our group of data, here we have it on a number line of all of our numbers. 5 is clearly the outlier because it is just much smaller than the other numbers in the data set. So let's take a look at an example. Here we have the value of 22, 61, 27, 31, 21, and 32. All of those numbers are pretty similar except for 61. 61 is way bigger than the other values provided, so 61 would be the outlier. Taking a look at one more example, most of our numbers are in the 50s and the 60s. And then we have 20. 20 is much lower than the other values of this data set, so it would be considered the outlier. We are now to the end of the lesson talking about mean, median, mode, range, and outliers. I'm going to see if you can answer these questions. In a set of data, what is the mean, median, mode, and range? Can you solve for them? And how do you identify an outlier? If you have any questions regarding this lesson, please don't hesitate to let me know and answer the questions below to show that you understand and complete your assignment that correlates with mean, median, mode, and range. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll see you in class.